YouTube, B3 here back another kicking action figure review. Today we got a review for a good little figure. It is the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Giant Man from the Ant-Man Ultron Build-A-Figure wave. Yeah, you know, when they first announced the wave, I was like, a 6-inch Giant Man? That's kinda dumb. Who would want that? But recently, I've kind of come to the realization that he does have his uses. I did pick one up, 17 bucks on Amazon. I got him for a good deal. Right now when I'm talking, they're back up to $21.99 on there. But, you know, who knows where they're going to be by the time I get this review up, because I'm still in a situation in my life where I can't really upload videos fast, and I can't really buy figures as much as I used to. So reviews are getting a little rougher for me. But yeah, I did convince myself to get this Giant Man. One, because I really wanted to build Ultron, and two, because, you know, of another reason, which you'll find out during size comparisons. But yeah, Giant Man, really, really cool. I've never been crazy about the Ant-Man, Giant Man characters. Right now, when I'm filming this, people are kind of in an uproar because they're about to have a Giant Man of Indian descent, which is totally fine, by the way. Lots of people have donned the mantle of Giant Man and Goliath. The reason people are mad about it is a race thing. It is definitely a race thing, I feel like. Don't bother commenting, no, they're not being true to the character, blah, 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 because it's a C-list character. So, you know, C-list characters are always having changes like this, for one thing. And it's a suit. It's the suit that makes them special, so anyone can wear it. It's no big deal. It doesn't matter. Okay? It's fine. They could end up being a really awesome character, like Miles Morales. Anyways, Giant Man, as you can see, he's the basic Bucky cap sculpt. The only thing new on him is this head, which has some extra sculpting and stuff on it to kind of have a mask. The mask is raised, so the mask is kind of sculpted on there, which is cool. And he's got these little antennae, which aren't totally even, but you can fix that. It's got little bug eyes and dashes and stuff. And this is my favorite Giant Man outfit, so I guess that's good. Paint's not totally clean. Lots of places here where the paint's kind of screwed up, and they are that way on other parts of the body as well. But he is just basic Bucky cap mold. As you can see, he's even got his shield peg. But articulation, you know, head can go all the way back like that, all the way down like that. Really good movement on the head. You see the other side to side like that as well. Up on the arm, down on the arm, and it's kind of got that clicking that the Bucky cap mold sometimes has. As you can see that. But it doesn't always, because on my Carnage, one arm does that and the other arm doesn't, so I don't know what the big deal is, but both arms on this guy do it, so at least it's consistent, I suppose. Bicep rotation, double elbow bend, you got a rotation here on the wrist as well, and, you know, forward and back, which is nice. Crunches down, crunches back, and then you've got a waist swivel. Legs can, you know, go in and out just fine like that. Forward and back's cool. You can move all around. Got a thigh swivel there. Double knee bend, which is neat. Boot swivel. All the way down on the foot, up on the foot, and also an ankle pivot. Very good for posing there. So yeah, you know, that's that for Giant Man. Now about we get into those size comparisons we're always talking about. So now here's our Giant Man with some other figures from the same wave. Here on the left we have the movie Scott Lang Ant-Man, and here on the right we have Tiger Shark. Yeah, this is the Bucky cap mold, so I'm sure you guys know how it's going to scale up if you already collect Marvel Legends. But it's going to scale up just as well as, you know, Bucky Cap or Carnage and other figures that utilize his mold. But it is a good mold. I don't have any gripes about this mold. And he does scale up well, assuming that he's shrunken down to normal size, obviously. He does scale well with the Scott Lang Ant-Man here. One's Hank Pym and one's Scott Lang, so it's good to go. And in here on the right, we got Tiger Shark, who's the Hyperion mold, which is a mold used for really big characters. So I think it's fine. I think that's fine as well. So, yeah, you know, as long as you're depicting him as shrunk down, you know, he's going to scale fine with your other Marvel Legends. Now here's our Giant Man with some other Marvel Legends figures. First up, I'd like to show him with an older Marvel Legend. Here on the left, we have the Iron Man 3 Ultron, which I guess isn't technically old, but it's older, a different type of Marvel Legends line. So I guess, you know, it works. Still Hasbro, though. He works well with that. Ultron, totally fine. Ultron's a little big, which is how it should be. Most people use this Ultron as a drone, which is still fine. And then here on the right, we have an Infinite Series figure, but this time a Build-A-Figure. It's the Build-A-Figure Modern Thanos from kind of the Avengers 2 Age of Ultron wave. Honestly, I think the Ultron should have been the Build-A-Figure for that wave, but I guess since they wanted to have an Ant-Man wave, it made more sense comic-wise to have the Ant-Man with that. And I guess they didn't want to do another Giant Man Build-A-Figure because there has been a Giant Man Build-A-Figure before. They could have done something, I think. Something different. Maybe build a giant ant for Ant-Man to ride on. That would have been cool. Even though they did release an Ant-Man that has a giant ant you can ride on. But, you know, as long as this guy is shrunk down to his normal size, then he scales fine with these guys. You probably don't want to pose him with villains like this unless he's defeated, like you're doing an ACBA where he's been defeated and he's small. Most of the time I see this guy in team shots or in shots with characters like Ultraman! Yes, here's Giant Man with the figures I got him to go with. I wanted to put him with Ultraman. So here on the left we got Ultraman Noah, and I think he scales fine with Ultraman Noah. He looks better with Ultra Axe. You can pose him better with Ultra Axe and stuff. And you can check out the IWO and ACBA Facebook pages if you want to see him posed with Ultra Axe and stuff. Because I can't really get out my Ultra Axe right now. I'm kind of in a position in my life where lots of my figures are at my parents' house and some of my figures are at my apartment, so it's weird right now for me. But yeah, I think he looks good with Ultraman here. Not so great with the NECA Gypsy Danger over here. This is Hong Kong Brawl Gypsy Danger, I believe. I have so many Gypsy Dangers and names kind of get scrambled. But really, any Gypsy Danger after battle damage Gypsy Danger is going to scale the same, like this guy. But I just think the Pacific Rim figures are too big, you know. They just don't look as cool, because you want Giant Man to kind of be in the same level. Otherwise, you know, what's the point of posing him with them? And of course, I'm going to pose him with some American Godzilla figures that should be pretty easy for you guys to get your hands on if you want them to go with your Giant Man. Or ones you guys already have, you know, if you collect Godzilla. But here on the left, we have Burning Godzilla from NECA. And here on the right, we have Godzilla 2014 from Bandai Creations. Yeah, you can get either of these guys at Toys R Us, comic shops and stuff. Should be easy to find. And Burning Godzilla here is the same sculpt as their 1994 Godzilla. So, you know, if you have that one already, same scaling. But I think he actually scales pretty well with these guys. He's good on height. You know, they're much bulkier than him, though, obviously, because they're kaiju. But I think that they scale well together. Now here's our Marvel Legends Giant Man with some figures from other manufacturers, some other manufacturers' Marvel figures. Here on the left we have the Toy Biz Carnage, technically the Hasbro re-release, but the same sculpt. And he's a little tiny bit small for Giant Man. I mean, it works out, but you're going to be better off using the recent Marvel Legends Carnage if you can get your hands on it, because, you know, they're the same mold foundation as Bucky Cap. They're the same. But, yeah, you know, both Carnages are probably actually kind of hard to get a hold of. But, you know, Giant Man, I guess, works with this guy. He's a little big, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, Giant Man, you know, he can grow. Why would you grow that tiny little bit? Why would you grow that tiny little bit? It's just the bulk, mostly. It's not the height that bothers me, it's the bulk. You see what I mean? Carnage is real skinny. And then here on the left, we have a figure from Diamond, not left. Here on the right, we have a figure from Diamond Select Toys. It is the Marvel Select Anti-Venom. They're coincidentally both symbiotes. But Anti-Venom here is obviously way too big for Giant Man. Other Marvel Select figures are way too big for Giant Man. He's not going to scale well with Marvel Select figures, it seems. So that's really too bad, but, you know, it's what happens. And there is one other type of figure I want to compare him to. Marvel Universe figures! Yes, here's Giant Man compared to the Mark II Iron Man on the left from the Iron Man 2 series. And here on the right we have the Future Foundation Spider-Man from Marvel Universe. Yeah, he works fine with them. He's a little less than double the height, and I think he's okay if you want to have a Giant Man. He's a good Giant Man to have with them. There's also a Giant Man you can get with the Ant-Man exclusive pack that I think is 4 3/4 inch figures. He's supposed to scale well with them. Not too sure. I don't have the set, and I haven't watched any reviews for it because I don't really care that much. But there is a Goliath figure in that set that is the same exact mold as this Giant Man, just with a different head and paint. So they have a Goliath that scales perfectly with this Giant Man that you can get Comic-Con exclusive. I've seen people selling him loose for about $40. I would not pay that for him. If, you know, unless you really want him, and then I guess, you know, get him or whatever, but I wouldn't personally do that when I have this, you know, going on. But yeah, you know, I think he works with Marvel Universe. I think that's a cool scaling, but yeah, you know, just put him with what you want, I suppose. So all in all, what are my final thoughts on the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Giant Man from the Ultron Ant-Man Build-A-Figure wave? Honestly, you know, he's a cool little figure. I really like the Bucky Cap mold. I understand why people don't like the reuse of the Bucky Cap mold a lot, but trust me, you guys, it's saving you money and it's getting more figures made. Just, if they had to make a completely new sculpt each figure, they'd release like 2 a wave. I'm serious. But yeah, you know, he's really cool looking. Scales well with Marvel Universe. Scales well with Marvel Legends as long as he's not shrinking. Not going to go with Marvel Selects, but that doesn't, you know, really matter. And he is just a cool figure. He's a cool figure. He really, really is. So, all in all, I think I'm going to give this guy 3 out of 5 stars. Honestly, I can't give him 4 because there's nothing impressive about him. He's got that head sculpt going on, but that's really the only new thing here. The sculpt is completely base Bucky Cap, no accessories. He did come with an Ultron part, but I mean, come on. It doesn't really count as an accessory, technically. But he is a neat little figure. If you're a fan of Hank Pym or Giant Man, I say pick him up, but otherwise, if you're not building Ultron or anything, maybe pass. So yeah, that's it, you guys. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Thank you all so much for your support. 3 out of 5 stars, and I'll see you all later.